Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you all of my pages for the month of February and all of my journals and planners here in front of you. And I just going to say this outright. February may have been the month wherein I have experienced the most slump. I didn't watch much anime, I didn't read much. I also didn't really touch my journals until the end of February. So apart from family coming over, me having weeks of not feeling well, February has been quite hard, despite it being one of the shortest months. But it is a leap year this year, so it's kind of a bit longer than the rest of other years previously. So yeah, my notebooks this month aren't really that interesting, but we're going to go through them anyway. I have, I think, 7 notebooks here in front of you, and we're going to go through them in order of wherein how often I touch these journals. So we're going to begin with those that I don't really use that often, which are these 4. So I have here, let's do it this way. I have here my anime review journal, my reading journal, 5-year journal, and then the monthly memory keeping sticker rating journal. So we have the anime review journal first. This is my 5th anime review journal, and also used to be my diary for Animal Crossing when I haven't date skipped yet, but I decided to scrap that idea, and still a lot of pages here at the back, so I decided to just repurpose this journal entirely and make it my anime review journal. And since January's update flip through, I don't really have that much except for a few titles here and there that I added for the month of February, but I still haven't gotten around to writing a bunch, as you can see, a bunch of the synopsis and also the reviews for some of the titles that are in here. I don't really have that motivation just yet, but looking at this now, I only have about this much left in a notebook anyway. So probably this year, maybe around June or July, the middle of the year, I might be able to finish filling up all of these pages and maybe get the motivation to write down all of the synopses and reviews once I know that I need to give a flip through of this notebook. So that is something that I don't usually write in. We have here is my reading journal, my steno notebook reading journal with my cow pile indicators at the front, just so I could remember how to rate. This month, the month of February, I have finished reading 2 books, which is what did I finish reading again? Even I forgot. Yeah, The End of Men by Christina Sweeney Bard, which is my very first 5 out of 5 stars for 2024. I only read 1 book in January, and in February now I have read 2 books. One is this one, and the other is Hour of the Red God by Richard Crompton. I will have a more in-depth video of what I've read for the first quarter of the year. Since I don't necessarily read that much anyway in a month, I would rather have a review consisting of 4 or more books rather than having January reviewing only 1 book and then in February only 2 books. So I'm going through that, reading my physical TBR from the last book haul that I did. And yeah, so far I haven't really updated my March yet, of course. It is March 15 as I'm filming this now, so it's kind of a bit late, but I have already written down some of the titles as well as the anime for in my later notebooks. I have already made entries for the month of March even before I filmed this video. So anyway, the next one we have here is my 5-year journal. It is my 365-day planner or day book that is undated. So I transformed this notebook into a 5-year journal, wherein in the notes pages we have here is a blank dotted notebook. I stamped on the date and then just write the year in. So we're going to flip through February. So the intention for this journal actually is to have a space for me to practice writing in fountain pen and also use up the inks that I have been hoarding for quite some time now. So I use a Parker 51 fountain pen, a very vintage old one that my mom got from my grandfather and now passed down to me. And as you can see in some of my journal entries, some days are shorter than others. In this journal, I don't necessarily put this as 1 line a day. I only have the opportunity to consume 2 rows of dotted lines, 2 rows. I would write if I have something that I want to write about that is a long entry, I would do it. Even fill half a page, I don't really care that much. I just write down the year and then the entry, and then when I finish, I will write down 2025 at the bottom. And if I need more space, I will just add more pages, something like that. It's very simple, and I made it my goal to have this all filled out at the end of the 5 years with different colored fountain pen inks, hopefully, as a practice. I'll probably be using my dip pen next year if I'm changing color ink because I do have like samples. Like as you can see here, I do have like a big entry here compared to like previous days. This is probably when I got sick. That's why I have like a lot of like writing that I did because we went out like the day before and then the morning, and then at the evening I already felt like the worst pain ever, and like I just came back after when I have already gotten better and then backfilled a bunch of these pages. And as I said, that February this year is a leap year. I do have like a little space here for like leap year. I think in this notebook, because it is a 5-year journal, we will have another leap year in this journal because it's every 4 years. So probably 2028, I guess. So I did squish in March here because there's still space. And yeah, that is the end of like the February part in this 5-year journal. Still keeping up with this. I need to like backfill a few pages here and there. Like I spend like the Sunday of the week and then backfill all of the 7 days of the week. That is how I pace myself when writing in my 5-year journal. If I don't want to like enter any entries every day, every evening to take out my fountain pen. Next we have here is my monthly creative sticker rating sort of monthly overview journal. This is supposed to be a monthly planner that I transformed into a memory keeping monthly overview. Don't know if you could see, but this is sort of like one line a day situation. So I just copied all of the information that I have in like my more daily pages in my other journals that I touch daily, and then just backfill a bunch of information in here. And in the side part here, I usually put all of the anime that I've watched alongside the ratings that I gave to that title. And for the month of February, I only finished 4 anime. That's why I have a lot of space here. So I just put a bunch of bunny stickers here. And yeah, this is like the whole page to it. I did put like an indicator here. Like I started feeling a little bit sick on the 15th. And then it got worse on the 18th, and this is how long it took me to recover and go back to work. So I found these washi strip stickers in my stash and decided that since it could fit like 2 days worth of squares, I just put 2 strips there to indicate how long it took me to recover. So this is just like a little overview of the month, and I like looking at this, and hopefully at the end of the year we're going to flip through all of this, a fun little memory keeping notebook. Next, we proceed to the one that I use in a weekly basis. This one, I think I failed to show this in my last video, the January flip through of all of my journals, because this is my Cozy and Chaos binder. This is where I house all of the loose leaf pages of my Cozy and Chaos journaling session. So every week in my vlogs, I do like a sit-down video at the end of the vlog wherein I do collaging, decorating, and memory keeping of what happened within that week. And this is my way of being pretty much creative with what I do. This is like the only place that I allow myself to use like puffy stickers, ephemera, different sorts of collage techniques, and I enjoy this quite a lot. So I'm going to flip through January and February because I forgot to include this in my last video. So here is how I do it. I tend to like do a lot of tip-ins for my journaling, use a bunch of stuff from my stash. I do a quarterly stash lock wherein I put different items from my stash in a single box, and then require myself or challenge myself to use up only those items from the box to collage and do different pages and spreads in my different journals. And by the end of that quarter, if I did not use like a scrap piece of paper or a piece of packaging, I usually declutter those if I don't find myself using it for the foreseeable future or in the next quarter. So that is like my practice in using up my stash. Like for example, this is a washi and painting combo that I did back in 2018. This is something that I made, and I went through all of my stash and see a bunch of these washi paintings and decided on giving them new life and putting them in my journal pages, like giving them a new purpose basically. And I've been enjoying doing that. Also like a bunch of ephemera, cardboard, as I've said, old prints of Genshin that I haven't used up yet, magazine clippings, packaging from like soaps, coffee, packaging, tissue papers, old like brochures and stuff, old stickers, and I just went wild with it and see whatever it is that is cohesive. And also journal a bit about the week. I usually include stuff that are like similar themes, similar colors, things that are particular to that month or week rather. Like for example, this is like Lantern Right week for Genshin. I don't know why I stick this down, but I have journaling there. Like this is all blues, silvers, and golds. And then we have here Chi-Chi. I usually follow the main print, like the color scheme of the main print. However, in this case, since Chi-Chi is like all blue, purplish, and white, I guess, I decided to use like the outer, like to tie it all up with all of the greens and the yellows of the flowers and such. That's why I chose that. Also use this as a tip-in. And this is actually March, so we're not going to deal with that just yet. This is also a painting that I did with washi tape as well. So yeah, that's how I incorporate all of like my old stash, bring them to the new like style that I have, repurposing old paintings, repurposing old stuff, and giving them new life, new purpose in my pages. And also what I do in this binder, as you have noticed as I flip through this and you haven't seen like my previous like weekly binders, I use all of like one side of the page. It is easier, as you can see, to flip through, and I don't need to like turn the notebook so you can see what's on the back. So for the whole year of 2024, I'm using all one side of the journal first, or the binder. Then when 2025 arrives, I'm going to flip all of the loose leaves on its back, and I'm going to use the back side of the pages. And that's how I fit 2 years into a single binder. And that's the practice that I've been doing for, this is my 3rd year now, for like this weekly big A5 binders. And lastly, we have here are the 2 notebooks that I keep beside my bed. These are the 2 that I often use like on a daily basis if I can manage it. And this is my yearly and monthly overview journal, and then my weekly, there's also a monthly page here, but this is more of like my weekly, daily overview memory keeping sort of situation. So we're going to get into it. First, we have here, this is a sketchbook, actually notebook that my dad bought from Hong Kong during his last trip. This is as a souvenir for me. And what I do here is that I want to preserve the pages of all of my journals that I love. So hopefully I will get more use out of it. However, as you can see here, I only have this much left, I believe, like this much left. So I think this will last me 1 year. I was thinking when I did my Techou Kaigi, I wanted this journal to actually last me 2 years, but I don't think that it will happen. But in any case, I actually divided, or like separated rather, my yearly and monthly pages from my daily chicken scratch writing. However, for the month of February, I did not actually touch a bunch of like my other notebooks, and one of them was my daily diary sort of situation. Because I have been so updated, and like I felt that it was redundant to write in my daily writing because I have this one. So I'm going to flip through my yearly pages for now. Just to see if there's anything that I could update. I actually updated a bunch, like I am on top of updating stuff. So I did cross off some of the titles that are in here. This is my Shows Master list. This is where I list down all of the anime that I wanted to watch. It is registered in my anime list account. And to be perfectly honest, as I look through all of this, I did see a few of the titles here that I just want to not watch anymore, like want to drop them. So for now, it is this way, but if I change journal in the future, I would have to like go through my Mal app and find like the titles that I don't find attractive anymore, that I don't want to watch anymore, because there are still like 300 titles in my account. It's like Goodreads, but for anime. I did not update this. I have bought like in the beginning of the year a bunch of new yarn for my Scaramouche Faces blanket that I'm working on, but I did not enter any of the new skeins of yarn in here. I did not also update this one. However, looking at this, I did like use up a bunch of like my stickers, like the sticker flakes here. Like I updated like in January that I have 220 sticker flakes left. Around this time, March, I think there are less than 100 left, and I'm actually proud of it. Using up like 545 sticker flakes at the beginning of the year is kind of daunting, but I did not necessarily use all of them. I used some of the sticker flakes as like freebies when people buy from the shop, like buy my old secondhand books, buy a bunch of like the scrunchies or the stuff that I crochet, and I use some of the sticker flakes as freebies for them. So yeah, I haven't really updated these much. I haven't really touched any of these much, except for like maybe the paper. I believe I only have one magazine left and one folder of clippings left, I think, but I have to double check. This will remain empty for a while. I will have a separate video of my Q1 empties and stash lock. It's almost the end of the quarter, so we're just going to wait for that, and I will explain more on that video about this page. Next we have here are my challenges and goals list. These are all of the stuff that I want to do for 2024. Challenges are more of the stuff that I know that I could accomplish in 2024. Goals are like more stretch goals sort of situation. I want to have this, but I'm not sure if it will be possible, something like that. And in order to track my challenges, I put it in here. So these are all movies. I aim to watch 20 movies for the year 2024, and I am already at 6 movies here. For the books, I am hoping to read 20 books, and so far I am in 2, 4, 5 books, and I'm almost in the middle of another one, so we're getting there. And then for manga, I have finished 2 manga actually last night. This is supposed to be for March update, but I'm just going to say this now because I've entered it here. So 15 manga for the year 2024, finished 2. So far so good, I guess. This is for my steps and period tracker. I haven't updated this yet. I will go back and update this in a later date once I have that information. This is my projects page. These are the stuff that I started in 2023 but have not finished yet. And these are like big projects. So one is the hexagon kimono cardigan. I'm still like a fourth of the way there. I haven't really touched this yet because I'm more focused on the Scaramouche Faces blanket, which is a 300 row blanket that I am planning to use as my blanket for my bed, of course, wherein the color schemes are this way, wherein it is 3 faces of Wanderer Scaramouche, his Wanderer face, his Scaramouche Balladeer face, and then his original face, the Kabukimono, like after being abandoned by his mom situation. So I'm in the middle of the Balladeer face, actually, 50 rows in, so that is 150 rows out of the 300 rows, which is quite exciting because it's just March and I'm already halfway there through the blanket. Next we have here is my bucket list. Haven't updated this yet. The initial bucket list were in to wear something I had made in public. At first, I wanted to do the hexagon kimono cardigan and wear it to a con or something. But as the day goes by, I kind of just want to make a hat and be done with this bucket list because I technically have made a bucket hat that is a size too big for me and wore it in public. So I don't know if this counts anymore, but I would like to make another new hat, like a fancier, cuter hat that is like my size, that I will wear to a con one day, something like that. And then TBR, these are all of my physical and also some of my digital copies of books that I wanted to read that I own, and the ones with like ratings at the site I've already finished reading. So now we proceed to the month of February, which is here. My theme for the month of February is Haikyuu. Haikyuu, Battle of the Garbage Dump, Battle of the Trash Heap, whatever the title you want to choose. Karasuno versus Nekoma is one of my favorite games in the whole anime and manga series, and my best friend and I plan on watching it together. The movie came out February 16 for Japan, and so far there are still no international dates for Philippines, but they did announce that it will come to cinemas in Philippines. I'm excited for that. So that's basically my whole theme here. I got this washi tape from Hey Clary. My brother got it for me, and what is that con again? Forgot. But it was years ago. Conquest. It was years ago when they went to Manila and they got me Musubi washi tape from Hey Clary, and I really love that. Kind of a bit of a spoiler, but it's fine. My calendar page did not write any of my wins here because early February wasn't really a win. These are the books that I started but didn't finish. I have sold one scrunchie off of like my physical store. The store, my aunt's store. I put my scrunchies and some of my projects there for people who pass by to see if they want anything. And then I gave a bunch of my pouches and also scrunchies to my aunt who visited for her to give away as like souvenirs for her friends at work. She lives in New York, I guess, somewhere in the US, and I just gave a bunch of scrunchies and cat pouches to them for souvenirs. This is my highlights. And in my highlights, I did go to Winter Sticker Fest. It is like 5 minutes walk from my house, and I finally was able to go. I went with my dad, and we had quite a bit of fun there. I did buy The Winds of Antos Harvest Moon, the newest Harvest Moon, and I have finally decided that I chose Nikolai as my partner in this game, or like save file. I have a bunch of tip-ins here of like coffee and different crafting, Chinese New Year. These are my pulls. Only 2 Artem SSR cards this month and a bunch of Chinese. Oreo collab with Pokemon this month as well. I opened a bunch of Pokemon Oreo packets, and I at least got Squirtle, which is the one, like the photo card that I actually really wanted. And then this is also like a drawing that I did like 2 or no, not 2. I think it's 4 years ago now, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I think it's 2019 when I drew this of Kuro. Yeah. And then this is my very sad anime list. Like, as you can see here, I already set up myself for failure, having chosen 20 titles for a month that is only 29 days. And since I got sick, I wasn't able to tackle that much. So I only finished 4 anime, 2 of which are not even part of the whole set that I have written down for myself. But that's fine. I carried over some of the anime to future months. We'll see. That is my yearly and monthly journal. And now we proceed to what I use daily, which is my weekly overview memory keeping sort of situation. This is my fully book challenge 2024. I did write some of the titles here that corresponds with the prompt. I explain it more in like a bookish video rather than this one. Projects list, these are like the same list that I have in my yearly monthly, just so I could see what I have been doing in my crocheting hobby. None of these are to be checked out because they're annual goals. This is my, it says annual plan, but this is more of a tracker of how long does it take me to read or watch a long anime. So in the previous journal, I did put there that I want to watch 12 anime series that are more than 50 episodes long. So what I do is that I write the title of, for example, I have The Gray Man here, which is 103 episodes. I started in January and it's a star here. So I put a star icon to represent it as finished on this day, February 16th, and my rating is at the side. So that's how I track my watching and reading of long anime or books. So for example, here another one is Hour of the Red God example. It's number 3. It's the 3rd book that I have logged in here, and so the number 3 is also here. So it took me only a day to finish reading, and then 3 out of 5 star is my rating. So I don't really find this confusing, because if it is an out of 10, so the score is out of 10, it is an anime, and if it's out of 5 star, then it is a book. So that's how I like icon or like note which is which. Next we have my favorites page. This is supposed to be like a future log for the journal or like the planner, but I decided to make this as like my favorites highlights page. My first 5 star of the month. We have Pokemon Oreos, my relatives coming over, Sticker Fest Winter 2024, and then book shopping. I did the solo book shopping during like the last week of February when I felt better. I did not put sickness here because whose highlight is it that will favorite sickness or write sickness as their highlight of the month, so I didn't put it there. Now we proceed to February, also Haikyuu themed. Usually the monthly page, the memory keeping monthly page, this is kind of redundant to like the overview planner journal that I have, the thin one. However, this is more of like jotting down and making it pretty rather than 1 line a day situation. So my theme for the monthly is usually tied to my monthly theme as well in my other journal. So this is also Haikyuu. I have my gacha here. I have the crochet project that I finished in the month, and then my shop. So that's how I track these down. And then as for the dailies, this is how they turn out. I usually put all of the anime that I wish to watch in that week, like give myself like 3 suggestions. I don't know what to watch, so let me pick out, like choose from the 3 that I have like suggested to myself the week before. And then my filming to-do list, and sometimes I put my work, work tracker, usually on the top here, but somehow I put it here at the bottom. And as for this journal, what I usually do is that I come back here after the fact, after I finish doing the stuff. So for example, I give here, like, this is a to-do list, like a traditional to-do list, something that I want to get done for that day. But sometimes, for example, here, I go back like when the day is finished or when the task is finished. It's like backlogging. So what I write here is the stuff that I've already done within the day, just so I could see where my time and my energy went for the day. And that's how I have been keeping up. In fact, to me, this is actually very motivating to go back and see how much stuff you got done. Because if sometimes, if I put in like a to-do list, there is this like sense of overwhelm that you know you have a bunch of stuff that you need to get done, and by the end of the day you did nothing of those. So sometimes it feels kind of discouraging to even open your journals, and at least that is for me. That is how I see it. So doing this in a way wherein it's fun, it's creative, but it's also tracking what you spent your time on that day really actually helps my brain and makes me feel happy. Wherein, like, have you ever felt that when you write a to-do list and then you have already written like 1 or 2 things you already got done on that day before you wrote that to-do list, and then immediately check it off and you got a shot of dopamine? This is the same situation that I have actually. But of course, there are like days wherein I did nothing, like for example here, but I guess this is because I got sick. But in that case, like, in a way, for me, it is like a shot of dopamine anytime I write something down. Like, I did something without being told to. That is like the feeling that I had as I was doing all of these pages, to be perfectly honest. And that's what I've been keeping up with. If it works, then isn't that a great thing? And so yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been using a bunch of my stickers, decorating here and there, making it happy, making it fit a color scheme sometimes in a week, using a bunch of stuff, mixing and matching different packs of stickers and what do you call this, printouts and such, and just have fun with the page. If the page ends up looking ugly, then that's fine. We can just turn to the next one the next week. And yeah, so that is all of the pages in this one. I guess I could turn to the back. The back part is just my reading tracker. This is all of the titles. I did use a bunch of like my letter alphabet stickers, and you can see that I used a bunch because I ran out of the letter T and letter R so much that I decided to use the inverted J as the letter T, an inverted V as a letter A, and that's how I've been using like excess stickers that you don't particularly use all that often and have like maybe a surplus of in your stash, and just be creative with it. So I did end up starting but did not continue like 3 books, I guess, which is Prophet, Babel, and Inheritance games. So I don't know, I might end up finishing 1 or 2 of those in the next couple of weeks, but I'm in the middle of Tender is the Flesh right now, which is a cannibalism book, but let's save that conversation for next time. And here we are with my 200 list. So technically my main goal for 2024 is 150 anime, 12 of those more than 50 plus episodes. And in the pacing that I am having like now, which is 26 finished series or animated movies rather, this is slow. I am way behind because of the slump this February. I didn't put 200 here because even though my main goal is 150, my stretch goal is 200, which I actually achieved last year. So I'm hoping that I'm able to achieve it this year as well. However, if like for one of these weekends, I would probably binge watch 4 or 5 movies a day, I'd probably catch up. So yeah, I'm not really that scared. It's still just March. But so far, that is the update that I have for all of my pages for the month of February in my journal. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and flipping through all these 7 wonderful journals. I am having fun with all of these. I may have placed too much like amount of journals in my Techou Kaigi at the beginning of the year. So a lot of those notebooks have been changed out and probably make a middle of the year Techou Kaigi. I don't know. I'm thinking aloud. And anyway, thank you so much again, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, guys, take care and